And then Mourinho got the sack this morning when I woke up, which is not. I can't say I was expecting it when I saw that when I opened my eyes and I saw that he was gone. I cannot say that it was something that I saw coming, but I think it was a matter of time. I think if his name wasn't Jose Mourinho, he probably would have been long gone. Because, look, I mean, I will always be. I can't discount what he's done for this team. I mean, I've never seen a Roma supported like this. I've never seen a Roma this successful in my lifetime. I've never seen a Roma this competitive in my lifetime. I know we've been able to go to the semifinal of the Champions League before, and we've challenged Juve, but not gotten there in the long run. But in terms of the atmosphere around the club and the feeling that I get watching the games, I just had not felt that before. And Mourinho brought that when he came in, and I have to say, for the first year, it was honestly incredible. I mean, to see us go to the conference final and win, I'll certainly never forget that, and I think that's all thanks to Mourinho. I don't think we'd do that with anybody else. I think he really brings the mentality and instills that in the team. Now, my problem with that is he was brought in to bring trophies, to make top four. He brought us to a trophy in his first season. Okay, he brought us to the final of the Europa League, which, in my opinion, they fucked us. I mean, it should have been a penalty and a handball, but they didn't give it to us. That's another story for another day. Anyways, this season, though, and really as a whole, I don't see progression from when we won the Conference League. He established his way of playing, his defensive tactic, being sound at the back, strong defensively, and then just kick the ball forward. And then everybody figured out that that's what we're going to do. And we don't do anything besides that. And it's so aggravating. And another thing that's really annoying to me is we've gone so we've put all of our eggs in Mourinho's basket so much that we don't have the players to play a different way. We don't have wing backs who can play in a 4, and the guys who we have that play wing back in a 5 suck. They can't put the ball in the box. They can't defend. They're just not good. I mean, it's just I just don't understand what's going on here. I really don't. I know I sound like a broken record saying it, but it's crazy to me to see the image just disappear from this team so abruptly. I just don't understand how it's happened. It's really disappointing to me that we've brought these players in, and besides Dybala, really, and I mean, I'll give Lukaku credit. I think he's actually been really good this season, stepping in because we needed a striker, and he's done the job. Besides those two, though, the guys we brought in have not done the business for me. We haven't even come close to cracking top 4. I mean, and it's just honestly been steps backwards. I mean, this season is probably our best chance to make it, because not only is there going to be 5 places to make the Champions League, most likely for Italy next year, but the race is so close. We've been so shit, and we're still only 5 points out. But it doesn't feel it didn't feel like to me under Mourinho that we were going to be able to get it together. It didn't feel like we were going to be able to put the results and sort things out. And I don't feel like he could make that next step. We're going on almost 3 years now with him, and I don't see another step forward in this team at all. So I have to say I'm not surprised. I love the appointment of Rossi. I'll be completely honest with you. He's someone that I think will bring the identity back as a Romanista himself. Someone who if you cut him open, he would bleed red and yellow. He wore the armband for us for so long, and he knows what it takes to be a Roma player and to deal with those fans. And I think that in the situation that we're in right now, that's the perfect type of caretaker manager we need. He's got a clause in his contract that if he, on the off chance, happens to pull it out of the fire and do well, and maybe we make Champions League, he can extend for a year, but I don't see that happening. And even for who we can bring in, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know because who the fuck would want to come coach this team right now? I certainly wouldn't. I know my brother's mentioned to me he sees Antonio Conte going there. I have to be honest with you. I think that's a fucking shot in the dark. Would I like to see it? Yeah. I think our out of all the teams who need a coach in Italy right now, our squad on paper probably suits his tactics the best. So maybe it could happen, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just a mess overall. I don't know. I really don't know what else to say about it. It's just fucking. It's misery. I don't know what to say. I mean, we played Lazio in the Coppa Italia, and I have to say that was like the most disgusting Roma performance I might have ever seen in my life. I shut the game off at halftime because I was losing my voice screaming at the TV because I just could not believe that in a game that probably at this point is our most important game of the season. We're not playing for anything. So playing Lazio is the most important game, and to literally show up like it was a friendly and not even play with any passion. Mancini was the only one who had any desire in that game. Other than that, it was 11 fucking idiots running around for 90 minutes. So, yeah, I'm about sick of watching this team right now, and I don't know. I really don't know where we go from here. I don't know what you guys think, but I have nothing positive to say.
I mean, I have a couple thoughts because, I mean, I mentioned before I like Mourinho, but even just besides that point, is like you mentioned, G, like there has been this atmosphere at Roma since Mourinho's appointment. Like I sent it in our group chat on Instagram earlier. They've been to what 2 or 3 European finals or whatever it is. Has won a European trophy for you. There's been apparently 40 consecutive sold out matches in Roma.
That's fact. It's not apparent.
That is true. So
Yeah,
that's
when I tell you the change was night and day from before Mourinho was there to literally his first game, it was astonishing. I mean, the amount of the hype around the club, and I was surprised that it's lasted this long. I was surprised that they've backed him as much as they have, but I just hope that they stay with it. I hope they don't hang us out to dry. I hope the fans keep coming. I hope they keep turning up and selling out because we need the support now more than ever, in my opinion.
I mean, and that's where I was going because it's interesting that like the fans and the atmosphere is like so intense and so passionate, and you go ahead and ruin that as a board by sacking Mourinho. And yeah, obviously the performances aren't there, but like not to just shit on you. And I said this in the group chat too. Like I just don't think Roma's squad is all that good. You know what I mean? And I think being 5 points, what is it, 5 points off fourth, isn't a terrible place to be with the quality that you have in your squad, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Granted, should you expect more? Probably, obviously, like you want more for yourselves. But like that's not totally awful, and I think it would have been smarter just to keep Mourinho, someone who's in the team where the fans are passionate, the players are still playing under him, and he has control of the locker room. It's not like it's not like, I mean, maybe that's not, but it just feels like holding it to the end of the season maybe, and then reevaluating based on how this season ends. And then, not to mention, Mourinho listens to a couple of things that the fans wanted, like, oh, get Patricio out of net, put Svilar in, has a stinker. Play some more youth, and he does when that's not Mourinho's style at all. And I don't know, it just feels like I don't think that was the right decision. We've talked about not sacking managers midseason, and I think this is one of those cases.
I gotta be honest, I'm really not mad about it. Like, just like the place where, like like I said, I think if his name wasn't Jose Mourinho, he would have gone probably 3-4 games ago. But like, I don't know, like it's just it makes no sense.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was completely warranted, personally.
Me
just
too.
for the reason that I just think just the way Roma turns up to the big games that you would expect them to compete in, they just stink in. I mean, nobody expected them to beat Napoli. They took advantage of Napoli's mental state, but they were never in the game against Juventus. They drop points against Atalanta. They lose to Lazio. They lose convincingly to Milan. Mourinho was in the stands again as a bystander for the Milan-Roma games. I think he's received the most red cards in the Serie A since he's entered the league. Me, personally, that's disgraceful. As a manager, you should be setting the example. And it shows on the field. Mancini never has his head. He's a passionate guy, but he's always getting sent off. I just think the way Roma lose games is embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It is.
And yeah, like they are 5 points off, but they're the meme in the Serie A. Nobody is ever threatened by Roma. It's probably a game that when teams are in a rut, they circle on their calendar and they say, this is a semi-big team that will turn our season around with the result. Don't be surprised if Verona win the game or at least get a point for their relegation battle, because I can see them turning up and wanting it more. We'll see how the team responds to someone like Rossi. I do think it was a good caretaker manager appointment. You brought that up because if the fans are going to support anybody coming in, it's him or Totti, who obviously would never be in that position because he'll never be a coach. But I thought it was completely fine, to be honest. I think Mourinho, I agree. Like if he wasn't named Mourinho, he'd be gone. And plus, like, it's Jose Mourinho, and you can't take my team above sixth place. I mean, it's not like they're not giving him signings.
They've given him everything he's asked for, and he's just not delivered.
Yeah, so it is what it
Everything
is.
He's promised, he's not delivered. I mean, he brought us a trophy. I'll never not be thankful for that. But in the grand scheme of things, he is not delivered on the things he's promised.
No, and me personally, I don't think he's really delivered it in his last couple jobs. I think the best he's done was with United when he brought them to second and he won them a Europa League. Mm-hmm. But he kind of flopped at Spurs. He was sacked by them. And it does kind of feel like he's taken this Roma as far as he can. But that as far as he can is well below the expectation, at least that I have, for Jose Mourinho, for the caliber of coach that he is, for somebody who is going to go down as one of the greatest managers to ever manage in this game. He'll probably be one of the best ones that we see in our lifetime. Honored to have witnessed it. But, I mean, when you hear that your club is bringing in Jose Mourinho, you immediately think like, "Oh my God, we're gonna win the league. We're gonna compete."
I was shocked when that happened.
They haven't been anywhere close. And yeah, I'm not surprised that it was night and day when Roma brought in Mourinho, because Roma, he's the best coach Roma's ever had and ever will have. He was their greatest chance of them winning a Serie A, in my opinion. We saw Milan scrape a Scudetto. Napoli dominated the league. If Roma had popped up and stole a Serie A or Scudetto the last 2 seasons, like I wouldn't have been too surprised given who they had at the helm. But I think Roma's performed well below how you would expect a Jose Mourinho led side to perform, especially in the big games.
And just one other thing too, I wanted to touch on, because I know you brought up the players backing him and stuff. I think that actually hasn't been the case lately, and I've been seeing that a lot now that he is gone. That a lot of the players, maybe not a lot of the players, but there certainly is a few. I mean, we all know the situation Karsdorp got himself in with Mourinho last season, so I'm certain he's certainly not upset about seeing the backside of Mourinho. But I think if you watch us play, I don't think the players don't believe in it. They don't believe in his tactics anymore. They don't believe in his style of play.
They're sick of getting embarrassed.
Yeah, I think it was just about time.
Yeah, I mean, for me with this, like I personally just never thought when this happened that this was going to be a good move for him, for either party really. I don't think that this is a fit for him, because it was kind of a one-way thing, right? So like I think most of the blame should go to the board, right? This team is not that good. I know you watch it all the time. Like, there's no names on this team. Like, they're not that good of a squad. And granted, this year they've been missing some of their better players, and with Tammy Abraham and Chris Smalling, and Dybala's in and out of the team. Renato's been a no-show because he's hurt every other day. So, sure, like they struggled with some injuries, but the squad just isn't good enough. You're relying on a young keeper who hasn't been that great in his career, and an old man who's way past it. I mean, Patricia's been great. Love the guy, but dude's past it. It's time.
No confidence in him at all.
Right, but I mean, the squad isn't good.
I just to touch on Svilar real quick. I don't think he had a horrible game. I mean,
he's not awful.
He's not an awful keeper. He's not the best with the ball at his feet, but I think I rate him as a shot stopper. I think there's definitely some promise there. I would like to see him play over Rui, because honestly, I'm just about sick of seeing Rui fucking drop the ball every time he tries to catch it. So
yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's like you didn't bring good enough players. You didn't bring. Yeah,
I agree, 100%.
You cannot be playing these kind of players with Mourinho and just expect him to work magic with them. You need some players.
And honestly, not even that
manager and not get the squad. That's
not even just that.
Issue they've had.
The players we brought in have just not performed.
No,
not performed at all.
And not only that, like the type of players you're getting, like you're bringing in Paredes, who's been in and out of PSG, kind of like a bum for them. Same thing with Renato's always hurt, trying to see if you can revive his career. Like, you're not bringing in guys. Hurt. Yeah, you brought in Matic, who's at the end of his career. So, like, the players you're bringing in...
He was good for us.
He was, but in terms of pushing your club forward, he's not going to be there the year after.
To be honest with you, I would take him there right now. I
for
really
sure.
would.
But, I mean, in terms of creating a flow of players that are going to be there and compete for the next 3 to 4 years, you're not doing that. You're bringing in rentals, you're bringing in guys at the end of their career, and you're not developing young talent with them. And then, like Ange said, all of the issues with Mourinho getting sent off and other players in the team getting sent off, you're not in there for games. So, I mean, to me, I don't think it was ever going to work because you were never going to be able to invest in your squad enough or properly to be a well-run Mourinho squad. And I think ultimately it finally came to an end. But if I'm being honest, good luck to Rossi. I don't think he's getting 29 points out of 20 games in the next thing. I don't think he's going to do better than Mourinho. So you guys will probably be lucky if you're still in the top half of the table at the end of the season.
I'll be shocked if we're any higher than where we are right now. Yeah, honestly.
I think De Rossi has a 18% win ratio as a manager.
I mean, I think at Roma he's instantly going to be better because just Roma
I mean, it's a better
through and
team.
through.
But no, it was well said, Jay. I'll just put a bow on it too, and I completely agree. I mean, none of the signings that they've made last summer have been impactful. Alwar hurt all the time. Renato Sanchez is already rumored to catch a loan move. He's already been kicked out. I mean,
he's been done.
Yeah, I think when you look at what Mourinho's been able to squeeze out of this 11, his discipline and the results in the big games, I think kind of warrants his sacking. It's sad to see him go out like this. Such a top class coach. I'm sure he'll get another job. I mean, there was rumors that he turned down an offer to become the highest paid coach in the world right after Roma's loss in the Europa League final. He chose Roma. So we'll see. I'm sure he won't be out of the game too long. Maybe he'll end up in the next country we speak about.
What's up, guys? If you love content like that, if you just love football, if you just love soccer, and you want to see more of our conversations, come check out the Son of a Pitch podcast channel on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all across different platforms. We will have weekly roundups of the weekend. We have all kinds of videos, discussions, breakdown, tactical analysis, all the good stuff. Come check us out and keep on being Son of a Pitch.